Okay, let's get started. Cool, so this is what I'm working with. All right. So ultimately, I do think 30 might be a better number. Please, a little bit more. I think the logic behind this now is we want to match this section here where it kind of tapers in to a curve at the top. We want to match that to the largest possible sized aluminium rig or aluminium profile, which I think is 120 mil. So ultimately, I think we need to decide on a height, and then we can kind of work from there. So the thinking behind this is I want to make this universal. So this is something I just did I had a piece that I already worked on, and I just kind of did a freestyle of it, which has been really helpful. But now I kind of want to refine the design. So I like elements of this, but it's not quite right. So the good thing about this one is now it doesn't, what's the word? I'm not restricted now. So this can fit a bigger profile and also a taller profile, and it doesn't affect how it interacts with the profile rig. So where we had it before, we had the panel match the width of the profile, and then that kind of limited it a little bit, which is what I didn't want to do. So I want to make this universal. Reason for doing that is it's going to make it a lot more cost effective for me to produce, and then obviously then I can then pass those savings on to the customer. So ultimately then this doesn't have to be like a super expensive add-on. It's kind of, reasonably priced, like a cherry on top to your aluminium rig. So that's the idea behind it. So the idea now is to develop this further. I need to make the design universal ultimately. So something that's able to be used with all shapes and size rigs. And a way to do that, I think, is to eliminate the need to rely on the size of the rig, if that makes sense. So my thinking behind that now is, okay, you're gonna have, this is a 80 mil width rig, and you can see kind of how it doesn't necessarily use any of the elements of the 80 mil in the design other than the slot in the middle. So that's the principle behind this. There is a slightly larger one, which is 120 mil, so it'll come out to there, and then it kind of it sits quite nicely on that hump. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. I think currently it looks quite nice, but I do think you can change the height of it a little bit. And I'm using my chair today as a mode of transport. So yeah, I think it's around 70. So there's a couple other things that I'm keeping in mind as well. Obviously, the size constraints are a big deal in the terms of the cost of materials and also postage as well. So if I can reduce the height, it is always going to be a bonus. Okay, it's going to cover less of it, but I do think this new approach, new design is something that is enhancing the overall look of it and the function of it as well. So that's what I'm after today. So okay, cool. So I know for a fact the back is always going to be 500 mil. So let's keep everything 500 mil and see where we get to. So let's go 500 mil. So it'll sit there. And then it allows people to put like cup holders and stuff like that on if they need to on their rigs. So it doesn't restrict as much if you go all the way to the top. So let's go 50, and another 50 here. Yeah, cool. So this is kind of what we're looking at the moment. So that's the space. And then the idea here now, I think, because I like this curve, I like this bit. Let me take this off again. Reuse some of this. I just like how that works. So I mean, because this right here. So I like this. I've got to work out the height, and that drops down 10. So I like to just go whole numbers every now and then. Don't know why. Just do. And then I know for a fact now, then that's 112. Sorry, 120. So that's the point there. So then almost figure out that radius. Again, go 5. Oops. Okay. And then we're saying, so this is where the issue might occur, you see. So now we're saying, unless you take it all the way. Let's just do that. Let's take this all the way across and see where we're at. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm thinking, but I do like this part here, and this height relates to the height of the largest, which I believe was 1800. No, sorry, 16, isn't it? 16 is 60. Ooh, that's not me. I'll get lucky there. Okay, put this bit on here. I think so. I think it's the right thing to do. Now this is what we'd use here. Let's just have a look at that. Does this look silly? Is the question. All right, let's see what we got here. What we got here? I wonder if you should take the whole line up. Wrong one. I think we need to, let's see, let's do a little bit of freestyle. So I think we need to, I reckon we need to like curve this bit. I think it changes it instantly changes it. Probably actually make it a bit smaller. Like it kind of looks like a gear now. All right, let's just, kind of like softens edges. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I think this looks good. I do think this looks good. I think I need to just refine that bit a little bit, but I definitely like how these two angles work together. It just gives that feeling of movement, ultimately. And now it's just deciding, what do I do with the back? Do I just copy that at the back? When you're actually sitting in a rig, I don't think it interacts with it. If it's the 200, yeah, I think safely, you don't really, so I might hold this to get out. It's taller, but yeah, I think it works. I don't think you're gonna get in contact with that enough for it to be an issue. And there, I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, I think this is it. This looks good. I just need to maybe, I think this bit needs to just come up smaller radius and just copy that radius on all the bits. Yeah, because then you can still have you've got all of this space here then for a cup holder, etc. Or, yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. You can even shrink it a little bit more, drop that down a little bit more. So if you imagine this is not here, so this is just the hole there and the hole there, and then you bring it down to, that is it. Yeah, I think so. I think you can play with that height a little bit more. Then we'll do the opposite side. So. Something like that. And then this. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, the back, perfect. The back is spot on. Yeah, I think that looks good. It adds a bit of movement to it.